Picture this. You're a specially skilled CIA operative who can do crazy stuff when it comes to defending yourself and others. But you retired to spend time with your 17-year-old daughter. When your daughter asks for your permission to go on a trip to Paris with her friend, you originally say you're not comfortable with it because you've been around the world. You know there's dangers out there, especially for an underage kid. She storms off crying, your ex-wife hates you, and you're the bad guy. So you cave, you let her go, and 10 minutes after she lands, she gets kidnapped. Gotta be a record. Now you have 96 hours to save her or never see her again. All your skills from your CIA operative days are required again, but this time, it's personal. The rampage Liam Neeson goes on in this movie, Taken, is motivated by this extremely intense plot, and you can feel that in how he goes about his investigation, but more importantly, the fighting. The fight scenes are awesome. There's essentially 6 major fight scenes throughout this movie, and Liam Neeson carries out the rescue of his daughter in these 2 parts. And as the movie goes on, his methods get deeper and darker as his desperation for his daughter drastically increases, and as the time left to get to her ticks down. But the first fight scene in this movie actually happens before all of this went down. The movie starts with him getting his daughter a present for her birthday and being heckled by his ex-wife the whole time.
Karaoke machine?
Well, I figured she wants to be a singer.
When she was 12, Brian.
Then, after getting showed up by her new husband, he gives the "I just got showed up" face. He spends a night with his buds who ask him to help with the security job for a singer. They do the job, but when a gate gets opened and her fans try to swarm her, Liam Neeson gets her out of there. And as he's getting her out, around the corner, a dude with a knife awaits. He first grabbed at his wrist and behind the elbow to control the arm and slam him into the wall. He backfists him, and he doesn't do anything to the actual knife to disarm him. He does this instead.
Yep.
This is gunting, which means scissors.
The gunting is the scissors.
It's a technique in college. This is like what Chaw did in Man from Nowhere for the guy to drop his bat, stunning someone's grip by a sharp blow to their arm. Let me simplify it caveman style. Hit arm, hand open. He then grabs the back of his neck and spins him down, and then he takes the singer and gets the F out of Dodge. Remember this spin. It'll come up again later. A little bit later, the singer thanks him for saving her life or whatever, and next day he has lunch with his daughter. His ex-wife comes too. She keeps heckling him,
Don't look so excited.
and his daughter drops the whole vacation in Paris thing. As I said before, he's apprehensive, and he offers an alternate option where he can come
I'm
along.
very good at being invisible.
As you so amply demonstrated for most of her life.
Clearly, the setup of this movie is for the audience to feel the same frustration as Liam Neeson's character would. So when it comes for his time to shine, it's much more epic, because along with him saving his daughter, he's proving his haters wrong. This is essentially how the movie Nobody is set up as well. Being beat down in life, and then getting your moment to show who you truly are. He says he'll think about it. She storms out. By the way, she runs weird. Like, look at this. It's no shock she got kidnapped. She wouldn't even be able to run away properly. The ex-wife and him argue. He's just saying, I'm not comfortable with putting my daughter at risk like this. And she says,
Putting our daughter at risk by going to Paris?
set herself up for a major I told you so. Then, as she's about to leave,
You're pathetic.
dang, this is the certified I'm a divorced dad and my ex-wife just called me pathetic posture. He shows up later and allows her to go. His ex-wife drops more disses.
Wouldn't it have been easier just to sign it the first time around?
Wouldn't it have been easier if you and I had talked about it first?
Yeah, stand up for yourself, champ. And they go off. They land in Paris. This dude starts dropping elite game, and after they share a taxi, he invites them to a party. This girl, who scored 100 on being street inept, drops all critical information to this dude.
Your apartment?
It's the whole 5th floor, Hoffman.
And my social security number is 551. She dies later, by the way. Anyway, fast forward 10 seconds, and she gets kidnapped while Liam Neeson's daughter witnesses it. This is where Liam Neeson genuinely locks in.
All right.
It is in this exact moment where he changes who he is for the rest of the movie. He was a divorced dad up until this point, but it is this exact moment he becomes a stone cold killer. Like transforming into Venom or Moon Knight. This is where he flips a switch. You can see in his facial expression exactly what he's thinking. I knew this was dangerous. My daughter's getting kidnapped. I'm thousands of miles away. Frick.
All right, listen to me.
He ran it through his head, and now he's locked in. Everything from this point on is deliberate, purposeful, and precise. He tells his daughter to give him as much information before they take her, and when they do, one of the kidnappers picks up the phone. This is where Liam Neeson drops his famous speech. He tells the guy on the phone that he can let her go, or Liam will find him and kill him. Paraphrasing. There's silence. Then,
Good luck.
Remember that. Good luck. This scene is one of the best. Masterpiece of acting and writing. You have to watch this movie just for this scene alone. So, Liam Neeson lets his ex-wife know what happened and gets the drop from his guy in the chair that she's being trafficked and has a 96-hour window before she's never getting found. His ex-wife's crying, and I think right now to make her feel better, he could tell her I told you so.
Please go back to me, Brian.
Oh, so it turns out you actually do need me, huh? Anyway, Liam flies to Paris, pulls a little Born Identity, finds a reflection in a picture of the French charmer from before, and then somehow is able to track him down. This happens a lot throughout this movie. He gets one sniff of evidence and is able to track everything down next with it. He's got elite tracking. The dude's outside the airport applying some pressure to another blondie when Liam Neeson politely intervenes and puts him in a taxi. This part is so funny. First of all, this blonde girl is smiling as Liam Neeson pulls up. Fired. Never act again. Then Liam punches him twice in the car. Hey!
The two American girls from yesterday.
Oh, that's so hilarious. He's like, he answered immediately, like as if he's media trained or something.
The two American girls from yesterday.
He then gets pulled out of the car and face first into concrete. Recovers quick with a kick to the face and the leg to knock this guy down. Gets up and grabs his chest where Liam just hits it down, blocks a punch, and passes the arm around, kind of like on the floor. Then a throat chop and a slam on the car. There's two things he did here that he tends to do a lot. First off, he slams people's heads against things like a fight finisher. He does that a few more times in this movie. Secondly, if you watch my channel, you know what I'm about to say. Say it with me, throat chops. Could have just started with that one, boss. They're quick, potentially deadly, and stop the fighting immediately. Then he chases after the French guy, but he gets hit by a truck instead, so unfortunate. Then Liam Neeson meets up with an old friend to tell him about his daughter and see if he can help. He asks if he's found the spotter, the guy from before, and Liam's like, yeah, he's dead. You found him that way? Then he starts to lecture Liam, like, stop wreaking havoc in my town, Liam.
I will tear down the Eiffel Tower if I have to.
Which is what it seems like he's gonna end up doing in this movie, because it gets pretty crazy. Liam Neeson ends up hanging out with some prostitutes and starts asking way too many questions. She's like, listen, if you're not buying, piss off.
No.
And he keeps talking her ear off about a karaoke machine and stuff. Then the prostitute boss pulls up and tells Liam to bugger off, quit bothering the ladies. This is something I really like here. Liam Neeson acts like a scared civilian, and when the boss puts his hands on him, Liam's like, alright, chill. Jeez. I like how he says that, chill. Jeez. It's acted perfectly as some stubborn dude that folds once a real threat is made. This is a good skill, being able to put on an act. You can get exactly what you want out of people if you just conform yourself to a certain personality, which is what Liam does here. He puts a microphone on his collar to listen in on. He was wanting him to get physical. When he goes back to listen to their conversation, they say they're having problems with fresh merchandise at the construction site. And boom, that's all Liam needs to hear, and he's on to the next place. Like I said, elite tracking, or really at this point, yeah right tracking. So he finds the construction site, somehow, and gets in a trailer where a bunch more kidnapped girls are being used. He finds a girl with his daughter's jacket. He takes a dude off of her, and as he's questioning her, someone comes to kick him out. Big mistake. As he gets grabbed from behind, Liam spins to knock the arm off and use that momentum to whip him a fresh knuckle sandwich. Important to note that to push the body like this with just the arm, you grab above the bend, like this friendly instructor says. Above the bend makes the body turn. More punching, a hammer fist. He kicks at the side of the knee. A hard enough hit here could tear his LCL in his knee. Then he grabs a curtain and starts choking him. As they struggle, he opens up every curtain in existence, and Liam slams his head on the wall. Next guy comes with a gun, doesn't fire it though, and Liam grabs his wrist and hits him in the nuts. And then he just kind of spins him down. Next guy yells, hey, but still doesn't fire his gun. Brother, whatever. So Liam disarms by doing a quick motion of knocking the gun to the right and his forearm to the left. He's knocking the gun towards grip being the weakest and his forearm the other way. Could probably also call this an empty hand gunting disarm.
The gunting?
Like I was talking about before. He then kicks his own legs out from under him. Is this dude Tyler Rake? Next guy comes in with a gun again, and Liam just shoots him. There's two dumb things that happen regarding guns in this movie. First, there's moments like this where Liam should just get shot, but they just decide not to pull the trigger. This dude legitimately said hey instead of firing a shot. And what you'll see in a second is that when they are shooting, everyone has stormtrooper aim. He'll be getting lit up by 10 people at once and not get hit at all. He actually gets shot just once in this movie, and 1 second after it happens, the wound is gone and never comes up again. So Liam takes the girl with his daughter's jacket out, and as he's getting shot at, and never gets hit. He starts tearing up the whip. He knocks over oil barrels, doubles back to knock over a barrel on fire and blow that sucker up. Then a car chase scene. He gets shot at more and is still fine and dandy. Throws a car over a hill. This frame here shows him actually start to go over the car, but next frame he's good, I guess. And then he runs through a trailer and is off. Here's what I meant by him descending into more and more drastic measures to save his daughter. He blew up this construction site, killed a bunch of dudes, and he made a mess. This is just the start of him descending into madness as the movie goes on. So, he takes the girl to a hotel and puts her on fluids to nurse her back to health. Clearly, he's starting to get pretty tired here. I want to point out what he does here. As he starts to wind down, he looks at his daughter's jacket and tears up just a little bit. From this moment here where he flipped the switch, he went into a new mode. And throughout the movie, he stays in this mode, only letting the mask slip and allowing himself to feel sadness, fear, panic, whatever, for just a few seconds. That's what this moment is here, where he has to wait for this girl to wake up, so there's no action left to take for the night, and he's finally forced to be alone with his thoughts. But earlier in the day, when there were still things to get done, he could be talking about his daughter getting kidnapped, be very frank about it, and not show any sign of fear or panic. Of course, it's still there in the back of his head, but the point is he knows as a former special operative that panic and fear will only make him worse off. Even in moments later in this movie where it seems like there's absolutely no chance he can get out of this, or he'll never find his daughter, he still doesn't panic. He doesn't let that bubble to the surface because he needs to stay focused. It's only in these moments when there's nothing left to do in the present where he lets his mask slip just a little. And see, he's also about to get a little rest when his phone rings and wake up, Jarvis. Time to focus. So the next morning comes and the lady wakes up and he asks her where she got the jacket. She flashes back to when she got kidnapped.
Sorry.
Man, you are trafficking girls. Why even bother with a sorry? Anyway, she tells him where to go. He goes there and uses his friend's business card to put on the act of his friend. He gets let in, pulls out every stat and argument method out of his butt to act like he's negotiating new rates for tolerating these criminals. He asks one of the dudes to translate something on a piece of paper. He reads it out and...
Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck. Apparently he sounds like the guy on the phone. I wouldn't have caught that, but I'm not a special operative. Liam drops his nice guy persona.
You don't remember me.
Here's the elite or yeah right tracking I'm talking about. He heard a good luck from a dude on the phone. His guy in the chair said his name's Marco. How'd he find that? Liam tracks him all the way down through very subtle, minute clues and gets lucky enough to pick him to be the one that translates the paper. Good luck. Then the threat becomes clear when Liam Neeson says, "I told you I would find you." Boom, a head slam. Kick to his chest, grab a knife, and flip the table. This is the part where the whole room erupts in chaos. He stabs in both of these dudes' chests and uses his gun to shoot bowler hat guy. Whole room's down already somehow. The guy he kicked, I guess, apparated. People run in the room, but it's empty. Nope, just kidding. Liam was playing dead. This entire fight scene shows Liam's complete no-nonsense approach to his fighting. He gets things done quickly in previous fight scenes, but in this one, every single person in this house got one application of force by the big Neeson here before dying. One slam, one kick, one stab, one bed, no pillowcase, one pillow, one stab for this guy. Kills Goob with one shot, plays dead. This playing dead act is probably the only aspect that contains a little nonsense, but he's still pretty straightforward in this whole scene. Shoots these three dudes with 3 shots. It doesn't show it, but you can hear only 3 shots were fired. He runs out, 1 shot, 1 bullet, 1 round, woke up, went back to sleep, took a nap. So yeah, he killed everyone in this house with just 1 action for each person. He runs around the house hoping to find his daughter, doesn't find her but finds Amanda instead, who's actually dead. This whole kidnapping was accelerated and could have been prevented had Amanda heard of stranger danger. He leaves the room and we cut to him torturing the good luck guy. Now it's getting even deeper into the madness. The time is ticking down and he's found his daughter's friend dead. So he's feeling the desperation, making him literally torture this guy. Liam monologues a little bit like a villain while his captive spits in his face. Eventually though, he gives up some information. Literally a name, Patrice Sinclair. Liam pries for just a little bit more information, but this guy doesn't know and he's begging really hard. Yikes, wow, yeah, that's embarrassing. At least get tortured for a few hours before pulling something like that. Liam leaves the electricity on and dips. He's literally leaving and just knows one name, and that's it, no other information. He heads over to his French friend where he puts on an act for his wife as if he's just visiting. He's talking about the location he just killed over 10 people in, as if he's looking to live there. Classic small talk. He drops a sneaky diss.
Yeah, it'd be nice coming home every night seeing your kids knowing they're safe.
And then suddenly flips his demeanor.
Parrots?
His French friend reveals he's a corrupt police officer, and Liam asks who Patrice St. Clair is. French guy pulls a gun saying, I don't know and I don't care. Let's get going, dinner is over.
I'm not finished yet.
Liam drops some bullets on the table, and French guy pulls the trigger only to find that the gun's empty. His facial expression shows it all. Ah, man. Dang it. Let's take a pause right here.
Let's stop right there. Let's just stop right there for a second.
So let's evaluate the situation. A gun is present, but it's empty. Tensions are rising, but it's in an apartment setting. Kids are asleep in another room. It's just a big argument. If you're in Liam Neeson's shoes, where time to get your daughter has ticked very far down, you want to accelerate things. Skip the arguing and the back and forth. So logically, you shoot your friend's wife. It's really a genius move if you think about it. He then threatens to kill her, and French guy has to obey and figure out who Patrice St. Clair is. This is the ultimate descent into madness. This is the part where even the audience watching is like, who's the villain here? Like, this lady's innocent, but a father getting as desperate as this, it's a toss-up. Probably better ways to go about it, but like I've said, he's descending into madness. He gets Patrice St. Clair's address and knocks his friend out.
Please apologize to your wife for me.
He ends up at Patrice St. Clair's and gets in with a fake ID. How'd he get a fake ID? I don't know. He gets to an elevator. Guy won't let him through, so he forces him in with a gun, kicks the back of his knees, and hits the gun to his throat. He's then walking around, sees a guy with some champagne, and cut to the next scene, he is the guy with champagne. Then he just hits this guy in the throat with his silver dish. He walks in the room with this guy, and his daughter comes out on the podium to be bought. Well, that is extraordinarily convenient. He picked the right room of the right floor at the perfect time down to the minute to end up seeing his daughter. He tells this guy to buy her, and when they walk out, he gets knocked out by someone waiting outside. Liam wakes up handcuffed to a pipe and is being questioned by Patrice St. Clair. Even though this is quite the pickle, Liam still demands Patrice gives him his daughter.
Give her to me.
He is held handcuffed, but still making demands. Patrice St. Clair is like, no.
I wish I could, honestly.
I wish I could. Honestly. And then says to kill Liam quietly. Liam's face shows just the slightest bit of panic here, and he starts to get strangled, but when Liam is able to pull the pipe out of the ceiling, it hits one dude with the pipe, he hits the other guy with his head, then turning the pipe on stuns the last guy. He flips around and does something to this guy's neck, grabs a fire hydrant, hits away the gun, then beats on this guy, then uses it to throw at the next guy. Goes for his gun, and instead of doing anything fancy, they just struggle with it until it shoots this guy's foot. Then he flips the gun around and shoots him in the head. He unlocks his handcuffs, kills the next dude, and makes Patrice St. Clair soil his pants. Okay, we can resolve this. I know how you feel. We should talk. Liam shoots him twice, and then the guy drops ball knowledge on his daughter. He asks Liam to please understand, please try to. He says this multiple times. It was all business. It wasn't personal. And Liam drops my favorite line.
It was all personal to me.
He hops in a car, chases after the boat holding his daughter, and jumps onto it from a bridge. He rolls over and flips this guy around, putting him into a chokehold. This knocks him out, and this is something else Liam Neeson does quite a few times in this movie. I'm sure there's a name for this move, I just don't know it. So I'm calling it the flip around. This is kind of like what the accountant does here and what Tyler Rake does here. Liam Neeson then moves down the stairs and swing kicks the next guy. When he goes for a punch, Liam literally grabs the arm and just slaps the guy, then throws him off the side of the boat. Later, geezer. This is some real no-nonsense stuff. He just needs to get through this guy. It doesn't matter if he's dead or alive. So he just slaps him and throws him off the boat. This guard is the only one that leaves this fight essentially uninjured. Perhaps the only one that survives. Next guy comes while Liam waits, and he just grabs the gun, hits him with the door, then with the gun. Next dude, same thing. Next guy, a throat chop, and shoots him. Next guy, peekaboo. Okay, this part here, though, should have genuinely killed Liam Neeson. What aim is that? This is a tight hallway. And then in the next room, it happens again. All Liam does is fire his gun under the couch twice, and that's all he needed. Finally, Liam gets shot by this guy, and Liam jumps through the window, and they start brawling. A karambit comes out, and Liam's blocking every swing at the arm. Kind of hard to tell what's going on, shaky cam and a million cuts, but Liam spins him around, gets kicked in the face, and holds the guy against the wall, where he flips the karambit around onto his arm. This is good use of the karambit. Liam breaks a glass, uses it as his own weapon for a bit before just stabbing this guy with it. Then this guy is holding his daughter captive, and there's a standstill before Liam just shoots him. Now watch this part very, very closely. Remember, he was a dad at the beginning of this movie, until this exact moment. Throughout the rest of the movie, he's a stone cold killer. His mask slips a little here and there, but he holds it together. Then, once this guy's dead, and his daughter turns, this is what he does. You notice how subtle that is? Liam's ability to do subtle acting is outstanding. What his character's thinking and feeling is shown so well with his body language and facial expressions. He saved his daughter and just drops his shoulders. It's like an "it's over" feeling of relief mixed with exhaustion, loaded emotions, etc. These micro moments throughout this movie are what elevated for me personally. I know I focus on the action for the most part, but this is almost what fuels the action. Because he needs to stay focused, he can't panic, and his acting showcases those moments where he starts to lose it a little, or lets out his emotions a little bit. This is what makes movies like Man from Nowhere just so good. Yes, these are action movies, and I absolutely love watching and learning from action scenes. But Man from Nowhere isn't even unbelievable because of the action scenes, except for the final fight scene. It's what the action scenes in the rest of the movie are displaying for the viewer, the story. Taken isn't so classic and amazing because he kills a house full of dudes and blows up a trailer. It's part of it, but why is he doing this? When it comes to how I judge my favorite movies, I genuinely follow my heart. Meaning, how did this movie make me feel while I watched it? What's the passion behind the storyline that gives me complex emotions? I'll watch Man from Nowhere cover to cover over and over again and still feel like I'll start bawling when he hears "Utter shit" at the end of the movie. These tiny aspects of acting that make me feel what the character's feeling, that show the complexity in the plot and storyline, that's what makes it so dang good. Taken is about a father willing to light the earth on fire or die trying to save his daughter.
Jean-Claude, I will tear down the Eiffel Tower if I have to.
Man from Nowhere is about saving his tiny neighbor from these organ dealers. It's a gut-wrenching plot, and when the action is so angry, full of passion, and the acting is so pure, it makes me feel what they feel, that's when a movie nails it. And The Man from Nowhere and Taken nail it. They cut to the airport where they meet up with the rest of the fam. She still runs super weird. Liam's ex-wife thanks him in tears, and I know Liam's not gonna forget that you were twisting the knife every chance you could 2 days earlier. It only took saving our daughter from traffickers for a little appreciation. Gosh. Liam's specific martial art he uses in this movie is apparently known as Nagasudo, which was created for this movie, but it's actually sort of real. It combines Aikido, Judo, and Jiu-Jitsu. Its main components are redirecting opponents' momentum, observing, assessing, and reacting with typically a single decisive strike, which I'd agree with, because Liam has this no-nonsense, really quick movements, kill the person with one shot, give a throat chop to put him down, throw him over the boat, you know, just 1 or 2 movements until you just move on. And lastly, using joint locks, throws, elbows and knees, and close quarters combat. Those are like the basics of Nagasudo. But this was my interpretation of his style put into key parts. Taken's a great movie. It's no wonder it was so well received when it first came out. I love it, and the action scenes are jumpy and don't make total sense here and there, but they're still eye candy to watch. This movie is also the very first clip I used on my channel in my Jason Bourne video. Watching fight scenes in movies is actually a great way to teach yourself important self-defense techniques. Speaking of my first video, I still haven't forgotten you, Blizzard69. 4 months later, you're still the OG. Anyway, great movie, pretty good fight scenes, new video soon, peace.